doesn't like Call of Duty? Well, I don't like the current Call of Duty, but do you remember Call of Duty Zombies? Call of Duty Zombies was the coolest thing to ever come out of Call of Duty. We all played it for hours and hours on end. Did you know that they came out with a comic book based around the concepts of that? Here's the Call of Duty Zombies comic book. The undead scourge have spread across every corner of existence, leaving many worlds and many souls lost forever. However, many is not all. There were 4 who needed to save this, and those 4 appeared in a blink of an eye. Russman, a man with so many secrets and lairs. Stuhlinger, blessed with the narrator's voice in his head. Marlton, the engineer, and Misty, the girl who would ensure this endeavor succeeds. And as for myself, my name is Edward Richtofen, and I've always been trying so very hard to do the right thing. A zombie's head explodes from a rooftop and Misty counts 274. Come on, you have to be a little impressed. And Marlton radios back telling them, does maintaining proper radio silence mean anything to you? Misty scales down the building telling them that that's 274 headshots in a row. She'd be impressed if someone told her that. Misty reaches the ground level and she runs over to check the zombie for any supplies. The ground area should be clear of anything, but there are some who manage to hide in the sewers. The zombies crawl out one by one and they shuffle over towards Misty, but before she can fire a gun, a blinding light appears in the sky, and a second later, the zombie's head begins to pop, and Misty shouts to Marlton's drone that it's not like she doesn't appreciate the light show, but more actual help would be nice. A short while later, Misty bursts into the base yelling, "That totally sucked! You know what would have been great? The drones had guns!" And as Misty looked over at Marlton's screen, she sees a familiar face. Russman. Russman sneaks into a building stating that Russman doesn't remember coming this way. Maybe there's some food inside for Russman. He shines a light into the apartment asking if there's any rotting creeps out there, and after a brief moment of silence, a zombie appears from the pantry. Russman backs away telling him, "Well, can't leave the dinner for someone else." And then a hand reaches out for him. Stu grabs him, stating, yeah, Stu to the rescue again. Just be mindful of the ground running out there. The two run back into the room and over at the mine. The zombies begin to follow and they trip it and the explosion goes off. Russman says, Russman's getting too old for this. And Stu tells him, I was too old for this about 30 years ago. As the two run upstairs, Stu shouts that he's aware of the noise would draw more of them here. But if he isn't offering any suggestions, here. Russman asks, are you still talking back to that friend in your head? And Stu tells him, no, I just like to have animated conversations with no one. The two reach the balcony and they begin to try and figure out what to do next when a zombie jumps off of the roof and onto Stu. Stu and the zombie tumble to the ground and Russman follows suit by jumping into the nearby dumpster. Stu yells to the voice that it would be a good time to come up with a plan right about now. And then a zombie's head explodes. Russman jumps down from the dumpster telling him, it's amazing what you'd find just lying around. More zombies appear and two begin to open fire trying to secure a route out. And just as they start to run low on ammo, a light shines popping some of their heads and Misty shouts that it looks like you could use a hand. Misty starts to clear a path for Stu and Russman and notices one zombie in particular that seems out of place. She fires a rifle, but the zombie dodges it. Marlton helps the others up, and as they get into the building, Misty shouts that the zombie dodged her shot. Zombies don't dodge! And Russman begins to help barricade the doors. And Marlton asks Stu what his friend says is coming next, and Stu tells him, only that we're gonna be needed. But soon the barricade begins to break and the zombies begin to pull their way in, and leading them is that one soldier zombie. Everyone begins shooting, and Stu shouts, we could use a little help over here! And suddenly a blue portal opens, and Stu yells out, finally! Everyone turns back to run through the portal, and as they all fade, the soldier watches them, and he smiles. As everyone runs out, Stu asks, where the hell is this place? And Russman says, Russman knows this place. This is Broken Arrow. Marlton asks, what's the purpose of this place? And Russman rubs his head, stating, Russman doesn't remember. Marlton runs over to the computer, typing away, stating that it would be advised if they shut this thing down. Because if the portal is open, the zombies can just follow. The guns open fire, and Russman turns to the keypad, stating, Russman thinks he can open this door. Just then, a giant metal door begins to close, and as Misty steps away, a zombie grabs her by the ponytail. The door slams shut, cutting off the zombie's arm, and as Misty rips it off with her hand, she stomps it on the ground, shouting, it's still moving! Once everyone has time to catch their breath, Misty asks Stu what they're supposed to do here, and he says, find whatever that element is. Russman starts to think and remembers back to when he used to be here. He was a special agent watching over an experiment. When suddenly there's a loud screech and everyone looks back to see the zombies prying open the door. Marlton tries to reroute some of the power to try and keep it shut, but Russman shouts, wait, I'll cut the power to try and contain them. The element is some kind of miracle. It's supposed to help us win the Cold War. We tested it on animals, but it changed them, and they broke free. Just as Russman finishes his story, the original zombie animals start to run out. And with the group in between a set of zombies and a set of zombie animals, Misty says that they are so screwed. Russman looks down the hallway and he tells everyone to hurry back up. While the animals and the zombies fight, Stu and Marlton are caught right in the middle. Misty tells Russman that they need to help them, but without listening, Russman turns back, firing into the crowd. The bullets fly, hitting the zombies, and Stu shouts, "Crap, crap, crap!" One of the animals sneaks around behind Misty and it begins to lunge at her, and Russman shoots it, asking, "Are you just gonna lay there all day?" The group begins to move further into the facility, and Marlton asks Stu if his friend has any wise words for them, because it would be really helpful right now. And Russman says, "Just follow me, I know where we are." In the next lab, a blue crystal shines, and Russman says, "That's what we're here for." Misty says, "That's nice, maybe Stu's friend can summon up one of those portals now, because we got some problems coming our way." The soldier leading the zombies finishes killing the last animal and starts to lead the rest towards the others. Stu begins to shout, "A little help here!" Misty spots the soldier and takes aim, but as she fires, another zombie jumps in the path, shielding it. She says that there's one leading them, and that's why they're acting smart. Marlton turns back to Stu, stating that his friend should probably open up the portal now, and Stu yells, "He isn't answering my calls!" Suddenly, the blue light of a portal shines, and Misty says, "Finally!" Everyone begins to turn and run through it, and just as before, the zombies follow right behind. Marlton runs over to the computer, trying to find a way to shut the door when a projection appears above everyone. It welcomes everyone to Zero Base. Please, speak your access codes. Stu says, "Great, now we have ghosts." And Russman says, "When are they German ghosts?" But as Marlton works on the computer, the projection turns red and says, "Your access is denied. Countermeasures activated." Two grid-like laser walls appear, and Misty shouts, asking, "What did I say about pressing buttons?" Marlton laughs, telling them, "Actually, our situation has improved. Just watch." The zombies begin to run in, and as soon as they run into the grid, they melt and fall to the ground. As Misty is shooting at them, Stu tells her that she really doesn't need to do that. The projection said, "Weapons detected, activating countermeasures." And she says, "Well, that's great, but we're kind of stuck here, so I'm just going to start shooting things." Stu and Russman try forcing the door open next to them, and suddenly it gives way. And Misty says, "Good work with the door. Now what about Marlton?" He tells her that he should be able to deactivate one of the grids, which he does, but he deactivated the one blocking the zombies. Marlton shouts for everyone to just go. He'll figure something out. And then he breaks the fire glass, pulling out an axe, stating that he's down running. Up ahead, the other three make their way through the facility, and Russman asks, "Are we really following arrows that are pointing us in a direction?" And Misty says, "Great, the AI program is probably leading us to more zombies." As they get into the next room, the floor begins to rumble, and then it splits open, and Stu and Misty jump off the platform, but Russman begins to fall. Stu runs back, grabbing Russman's hand, shouting, "I got you! But who's got Stu?" Back in the ventilation shaft, the projection AI announces that it notices life in the ventilation shaft. Good luck with the chlorine gas. Marlton scrambles to try and stay ahead, and then he falls into the control room. The projection then tells Marlton that, "Look, I am a very reasonable program. Perhaps we can discuss this." He grips his axe and he just grins. Back with the others, Misty begins to pull Stu and Russman back, and she asks, "How are you both this heavy? It's the apocalypse." And Russman says, "Russman can always find a good meal, unlike some people." As everyone gets back on solid ground, Marlton's voice calls out that they need to exit this room. Take 2 lefts and then a right. Russman then asks, "What happened to the ghost?" And just as Stu tells him that there wasn't one, he says, "You know what, fine, it was a ghost." A few moments later, the three find themselves in a room with Marlton, who's already working away at the computer. Marlton points to a device and he says that he believes that that is what they came here for. Stu asks, "You don't know?" And Marlton tells him, "You tried talking to a computer after it just had an axe lobotomy." Stu then shouts, Yes, my friend is finally telling me where it is. We just need to activate it." Marlton sets the element into the device, and everyone sits in each of the 4 chairs. A needle starts to poke into each of them, and before Misty can finish shouting, "What the hell is that?" Stu tells her, "My friend says it's supposed to happen. It looks at the blood to make sure that we're human." And Russman asks, "So what happens next?" A blue light shines, and suddenly everything changes. And Misty looks outside to a green, not destroyed world, asking, "Did we just save the world?" Now, we've done the first 3 issues, and if you enjoy this, give this video a like and let us know in the comments down below that you want more of the Call of Duty Zombies storyline. There is more to it that we can cover. If you want other weird independent comic books, check out this link right here. If you want some other really awesome video game ones, check out this link right here. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you can get everything that we put out, from weird video game comic books to your favorite Marvel DCs. I'm Benny, and I'll see you on Twitter, where I bring you single tweet reviews, my opinions of the comics as I read them.